Part 1. White Clouds. Guardian Moon. Where the goddess dwells. Long ago, the guardian Saros made an appearance during this moon. She had been summoned by the goddess, whose soul was suffering as the flames of war raged across Fodlan. Some believe that high in the sky above Saros, the Immaculate One's mighty wings are what powered the strong winds carrying the Guardian and her forces into battle.
Hey, Teach, do you believe in gods? I don't necessarily mean the goddess of the Saros religion, just gods in general. Do you believe that incredible beings who control the fates of all really exist? Yeah, I didn't think so. I never used to believe in that sort of thing either. I've always hated the idea of praying to a god. After all, you can only really rely on yourself. I still believe that. You can't win a war by leaving your fate in the hands of a god. Only tangible facts can really decide a war. Which side has the most troops, the best tactics, the better organization and planning. Of course, miracles can happen. And by that, I mean things that are completely outside of your control. Things that only seem to add up if you believe in the concept of fate. Things like, well, like meeting you, for example. You just seem sort of impossible. I think everyone would agree with that. You can wield the sword of the Creator, you're a tactical genius, and you have this strange ability to earn the trust of anyone you cross paths with. Before I met you, I never imagined that it was possible for someone like you to exist. And yet, now that I know you, your presence in my life has quickly become invaluable. In fact, it's hard to imagine making my dreams come true without your help. Because of that, I can't believe for a second that our meeting was just a coincidence. That means it must have been fate. Maybe it was a miracle. Or maybe some god empathized with me in my dreams. Again, I don't mean the goddess of Fodlan, though I suppose it may be hard for you to grasp what I'm talking about. People all over the world have different ideas about who or what the gods are, right? Even in distant lands across the ocean or over the mountains. They have gods who see the world as a whole, who don't care about Fodlan's borders, who don't meddle in our affairs, who don't grant life or take it away. And maybe, sometimes, they'll make a miracle happen. A god like that, that's the sort of god I think I could believe in. Careful, Teach. You'll anger the followers of Saros if you say things like that. I'm just speaking my mind, that's all. I think people should be free to believe in whatever gods they want. If a person believes in a god and that god becomes a support system for them, that's a good thing. That's what a god should be. Anyway, maybe I've overstepped a bit. I knew you'd understand. In any case, let's keep this conversation between the two of us, yeah?
Day 5 of the Garland Moon, year 1157. Clear skies. I picked some flowers for her and returned home. The look of joy on her face at the sight of these flowers will be even more beautiful than the flowers themselves? Yeesh, that is enough. His entries from before your birth are full of such romantic blatherings as that. Oh, it must be deeply moving you to hear such things, but now is not the time for whimsy. Someone is here. You do not wish for them to see you in this state, so pull yourself together.
I thought I might find you here, Teach. Not the type to wallow in solitude, huh? That's a relief, let me tell you. So, what were you reading? Is that Gerald's? So it is. Hey, maybe this has some entries from when Gerald left the monastery. Is that so? He was the captain of the knights, but something made him leave the monastery in a hurry. If it has something to do with your birth, knowing what happened may get us closer to knowing what secrets the church is hiding. Teach, would you mind letting me read that diary? I know how important it is to you, but I'm not asking lightly. Please allow me to borrow it. I'm forever in your debt, Teach. If you'd refused, I would have had to sneak in here in the dead of night. I wasn't looking forward to the prospect. Anyhow, let me fill you in on what's been going on lately, and not just as thanks for pointing me to that diary. Rhea dispatched the knights to various locations in a frantic search for the enemy. There's a rumor that she's already secured some information. Something big is going to happen soon. That has me wondering, if you find out where the enemy is, what will you do about it? If you ask, No, scratch that. All of us students would gladly lend a hand, even if that means going against Rhea's wishes. Don't forget it. Now go. Everyone's worried about you. You'd better show them you're in good spirits.
Oh, thank you. You saved me.
If you were to die, then the mystery of our bodies would be revealed. Preventing that was my only aim. I'm afraid you must remain, Kronya. There is something I need you to do.
Oh, of course. I'm always happy to cooperate with Solon. Leave it to me.
How annoying.
Flame Emperor, is she offending you? Unfortunately, we cannot take our eyes off her, so there is nothing to be done. You are our greatest creation. We use the defiled beast's blood as the fuel to your flame, that you may burn even the gods. Now is the time to cleanse Fodlan with that power and bring forth our salvation.
There will be no salvation for you and your kind. Those responsible for such gruesome deeds in Dusker and Enmar.
All so that you may acquire the strength you need, all for a purpose.
Hey, Professor. Got a minute? Look, I'm sorry I snapped at you. I didn't mean to lose my temper. I was rude to you. I should have known better. Huh, I thought you might say that. And that way, you're just like Captain Gerald. You accept other people. You don't let petty details get under your skin. Well, when I was a kid, I kind of latched onto him. I've been calling myself his apprentice ever since. He spent some time in the village I grew up in. Actually, you weren't with him back then. Why not? Huh. Maybe he left you with a relative or something. Anyway, back then, Gerald's job was to deal with poachers. Well, they were bandits, but we called them poachers. Nobody in the village could stand up to them. But your dad, he took them on like it was nothing. I was so impressed. All I could think was how amazing mercenaries were. I'd lived in that tiny village my whole life, so to me, Captain Gerald was nothing short of a legend. So I went right up to him and I told him I was going to be his apprentice. He didn't stick around long after that, but he did teach me a lot while he was with us. Tactics, strategy, training routines, it was all so new and exciting. So after he left, I kept at it, kept training, just like he taught me. Me too. I always planned to meet him again once I became a top-tier mercenary, but I'm just glad I got to see him, to thank him properly and all. I've spent my whole life working to become a great mercenary like your father. There were so many times when I wanted to ask his advice, but I couldn't. I just had to make do. That's how I've made it this far. Just hard work, all on my own. But then you come along, and it's like you don't appreciate Captain Gerald at all, or how lucky— Oh, it still really bothers me. You might be his kid, but I'm—
If you must weep, then weep. I shall be here for you. Well, it would be ridiculous to not feel anything after something like that. Go on and let it out. I am here. Oh, is something hiding just behind that book? That ring! I have seen it before. Ah, I know. Gerald showed that ring to you beside a grave. Do you recall? He said he wished for you to have that ring one day. That means it's yours. He also said that you should gift that ring to someone special.
Hi, Teach. I see the storm in your eyes has passed. You're looking much better. I've been reading Gerald's diary. The baby he mentions. That's you, isn't it? I can't understand about half of what's written here, but Gerald really cherished you. That much is clear.
Great timing, Professor. I was just going to come find you. Are you busy? I have a question about formations. I don't understand them at all. Are the speed of battle and the terrain connected somehow? There's too much to memorize. I don't? Then what do I have to know? I think I understand the basics. To start, you just... Ah, okay. I think I've got it. Thanks for the help, Professor. Brains and brawn. You've really got it all. With your help, I should have no trouble becoming a proper knight. Huh? Didn't I tell you? My parents were merchants of the Alliance. They died in an accident. That's why it's up to me to look after my little sis. I'm not great with bookkeeping, so I don't think I'd make a good merchant. I talked to Grandpa, and he suggested I become a knight. So I sold all our valuables and used the money to pay my way into the academy. My sis won't survive if I get kicked out. So I can't give up now. I might have tried being a mercenary if I didn't have my little sis to look after. I probably shouldn't say this, but being a mercenary does sound like an easier life. Mercenaries have no responsibilities and no one else to worry about. But someone's got to take care of my little sis, so that's out of the question. Serving as a knight in a noble house is more secure, and you don't have to worry about dying unless there's a war. My sis has been through so much. I don't want her to have to worry about me. Hey, do you have any siblings, Professor? Then you probably think I'm missing out on my freedom, having to support her, huh? But working hard for my sister isn't too bad. Call it a burden, call it a challenge. If it makes my sister happy, I'm happy too. You've got my sympathy. Really. Not having any siblings, I mean. Anyway, that's why I've got to become a proper knight.
Aha! Found you! You're always nosing around places, aren't you, Professor? Can be real hard to find you sometimes. No worrying about it. I just wanted to talk to you about a thing today. Do you remember how Lady Rhea asked you to come to the office this evening? Well, she told me that I should come to let you know that today's a bad day for doing that, and you should go and see her tomorrow instead. That's pretty much everything I needed to say, I think. Oh, except to ask you if you've seen Sedith around anywhere. Okay, I'm supposed to tell Sedith the thing Lady Rhea told me to tell you, but he's hard to find. No, it's all right, thanks. But if you see him, then please find me and tell me where you saw him, okay? Because then I'll know where he is and I can tell him. I'll be in the stables if you need me. Gotta put out the fodder before it's the next kid's shift. Don't want her thinking I left my work for her to do. Oh, but if I'm not in the stables and you need to find me, I'll be at the forest up north, because there's a bunch of logs lying around up there. I figure I ought to chop them up, or else someone might trip on a log, or we might run out of firewood. And if I chop, then it'll save other people time. If it looks like I'm done there, then the quarters need to be swept. So if you see Sedith and you need to find me, then I might be there. Nope, this is my job. I'm not giving it to anyone else because it's mine and I'm gonna do it. Besides, if you help me out, Lady Rhea might give me an earful. I don't know why, but Lady Rhea sure does seem to like you. She's always worried about what you might be doing or not doing. Oh yeah, not that it's any of my business. Anyways, Lady Rhea asked me to do some jobs, so I'm doing them all. Even some she didn't ask for, but I know need doing, so I'm doing them. End of story. And remember, if you see Sedith around... Huh? But I just told you where I'd be. If I'm not in the stables, I'll be at the forest. If I'm not... Oh, I see. You're right, I'm all over the place, huh? I don't want to waste your time, Professor, so if you see Sedith, how about you tell him I was looking? Then he can spend his time looking for me and... A real good plan. Let's do that.
Professor, Actually, could we talk for a bit? I'm just gonna come right out and say it. I find you a little difficult to be around. I know. I'm your student and you're just trying to watch out for me. But the way you look at me sometimes, it's like you're seeing right through me. Don't worry. I know you don't mean anything bad by it. I'm just too self-conscious, I guess. The thing is, I don't have anything to call my own. No land, no birthright, no fortune. Little knowledge or battle skill. I think that's why I always clung to my popularity as a diva. Even after leaving the stage behind, I sort of kept up the act. When I look at you, it's like your eyes are accusing me. Telling me that you see right through it. That's what I mean when I say it's difficult being around you. Hey, this might be nuts, but maybe you could show me some kind of weakness of yours? You know my biggest fear. If I know one of yours, maybe I'll feel less, I don't know, vulnerable. Excellent. Well then, don't mind me. I bet I know your weakness. It's not meant. That's right. The next time you gaze into... Professor? What's with you? Come on. I thought that was funny. I swear, it's like your heart... Don't be so silly. Huh? It really isn't beating? Is what I'd say if I were more gullible. You're just...
Ah, there you are. I apologize for calling you in so suddenly. Please, sit. There is a matter I would like to discuss with you. I believe I've told you this before, but it is my responsibility to aid the Archbishop in all her duties. Spiritual instruction, ceremony oversight, donation management, all of the Church's many administrative tasks. I oversee not only the priesthood, but also the Knights of Seros and the Officers' Academy. The Archbishop entrusts a great deal to my discretion, and I am honored by her confidence. Even when she must make decisions herself, she often seeks my counsel in advance. And yet, your appointment to a teaching position at the Officers' Academy was a complete surprise to me. Not only that, but you have also been entrusted with the Sword of the Creator. I was as surprised as anyone else to learn that. Frankly, I am just not sure how to handle you. I am the Archbishop's right hand, and yet when it comes to you, I have been told almost nothing. Not quite. I do find you to be a trustworthy individual, but my subjective opinion is not enough. I have a duty to be cautious. Should the Archbishop's trust in you prove to be misplaced, it is the faithful who will suffer most. First, I would like to know just how much you know about yourself. You are the child of Geralt Eisner, correct? That's quite a vague reply for such a basic question. In the future, as the former captain of the Knights of Seros, if you really are his child, then no one would voice any complaint about you joining the Knights. How long has it been since you became a mercenary? Given your youth, that hardly seems likely. Come to think of it, I have never asked your age. Just how old are you exactly? Your face says it all. You truly don't know, do you? Just what was Gerald thinking, raising you this way? Given your responses thus far, I feel as though any further... However, permit me to make one thing clear. Whatever her reasons, the Archbishop has placed great faith in you. Do not betray that trust. That is all.
Hey, Professor. I might have to go back home for a little while. Well, that's one way of putting it. The Almiran forces are causing trouble at Fodlan's Locket. Oh, do you know where that is?
Well, the mountain range that separates the Alliance from Elmira is called Fodlan's Throat. There's a fortress right on top of the throat, and they call that Fodlan's Locket. Well, yeah, you could say that. I'm sure my brother would be able to handle them on his own, but he said he really wants me to help out. I guess he's a bit tired out from all his hard work. Anyway, our dad's not as sprightly as he used to be. He's not up for a fight. Apparently, it would look bad if we left it to the retainers. I really, really don't want to go, but I guess I have to.
Hey, Hilda. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but I heard you talking.
Oh, what's up, Cyril?
You're gonna fight the Almirans, yeah?
Yes, but it's nothing you need to worry about, Cyril.
It's not that. I was just wondering if maybe I could go along with you.
But you'd be fighting people from your homeland. Do you really want to do that?
None of them would remember me anyway. It's just that I got captured in the battle at the Locket, and that's how I ended up here. So I'm kind of worried that other kids who lose their folks might not be so lucky. Before Lady Rhea took me in, I had a real hard time as a servant of House Goneril.
I'm sorry to hear that, but it's not like I'll go around snapping up Almiran children.
That's good, but I want to see things for myself, so I know that everything's okay.
Well then, let's go together. Oh, would you want to join us, Professor? My brother will be there, but I'm a little scared about fighting all those fierce Almirans.
If you could come too, it'd be really great.
Great! I know we'll be okay if you're there.
I'll go and get ready too.
Most of our allies have fallen. My big brother and I can probably handle this, though.
Hilda, glad you made it. Lord Holst has been afflicted with a sudden illness and couldn't come.
He's not here? Oh, I'm sorry. You must have been absolutely terrified. It's okay, though. I brought along someone who can definitely help us. That's you, Professor.
Good thing I knew about this back road, huh? We ought to be able to help our friends from here.
I stand ready.
Leave it to me.
Ready and willing. Support! We're saved!
Stay focused. Each battle, a chance to grow. That's my cue. Apologies.
I got this.
Who, me?
I'm on it.
Ready when you are.
Let's get to it. Who, me?
Saw coming!
Predictable. As expected.
That helps.
My blood compels me! Was that helpful?
So obvious. What's next?
Making Lady Rhea proud.
How do you like that?
I feel...
Well done.
Won that.
I think not.
I just worked harder.
Enough of this nonsense. Yeah! I'm still not...
Not bad. Should I have held back?
Ah, things are looking up. Let's keep going and save the others.
I guess I feel a little stronger.
Apologies.
Easy.
that went as expected.
We did it somehow.
You bet.
I'm gonna drop by my family's estate and complain to my brother a bit. You two should head back.
They aren't really trying to cross Fodlan's throat. I'm not saying they're not serious, but fights like this one aren't really invasions. They just start fights like this sometimes. It's so they can show off how strong they are. I think it's pretty dumb. I mean, people are getting killed. And why? So some guy can think he's tough? After every fight, they do a big feast and everybody eats and dances and there's music. It's supposed to honor the dead, but I figure they just like to make noise. I think they're all idiots, but if I'm real honest, it wasn't the worst way to live life. Nah, I'm where I belong now, and I don't really like Almyra. If they want to show how tough they are, then they ought to look after kids who've lost their parents.
Whew, I'm tired. Professor, Cyril, thanks for all your help.
You get a chance to see your brother?
I did, though I think I'd be better off otherwise. He was horribly ill, for one thing. He looked so pale and haggard. Apparently, he'd eaten a bad mushroom before the battle, and it made him horribly sick. What an idiot. Anyway, when I told him we'd handled the Almyran situation, he was just gushing with praise. I tried telling him that it wasn't all me, but he didn't even listen. That did feel pretty good, I'll admit, but then things got awkward. He started trying to pawn off his whole inheritance. I told him I wanted none of it. Eventually, he settled for foisting this thing on me. Do you know what it is?
One heck of an axe. He gave it to you?
Yes, it's a magic axe called Freikugel. It's the hero's relic of House Goneril. He said that I should have it, since the crest I bear will allow me to wield it. He was so insistent, I eventually relented. But I don't think I can be responsible for something so precious. Hey, Professor, why don't you take it instead? Heroes' relics contain terrifying power. You're the only person I trust to take care of it. Please, help me out here. Thank you so much. I honestly didn't know what I was going to do with this thing. A big, scary axe is not my style. Plus, look closely. Parts of the axe are but I'll use it if you tell me to, Professor. Or you could get somebody else to wield it if you like. It's all up to you now.
That Hilda, she really is something.
It has been a while since we last spoke, Professor. Spare me a moment again, will you not? You recall how you helped me and allowed me to join your class, yes? I have learned a great many things since then. Indeed, I have truly grown so much. This personal growth is due in large part to you, and I wish to express my gratitude, sincerely. Excuse me? Are you implying that I am still naive? I will have you know that I have made many friends. Why, when I go to the market, alone, you must be familiar with the delicate art of that is the type of knowledge Who? Me? Have you not asked this once before? It is a bit rude to ask. Is that so? Well, it seems we have something in common since I do not know your age either. Come now. There is nothing to be gained from focusing so heavily on age. Touching on a previous discussion, I think I have learned more about you. I mentioned how you possess an air of mystery. I compared you to any old sea, but I have come to realize you are more like a particular sea. When I was quite small, my mother would take me out to play in the sea. She was an excellent fisher, my mother. I grew to love fish deeply because of her. Well, you see, fish are... Oh, wait. I was talking about the sea, was I not? Anyhow, I sense that, like the Sket, despite your unknowable depths. It's as if we have met somewhere, long, long ago. No, I do not think so. I wonder if we might be distant relatives. No, that cannot be it either. After all, if we were related... Though considering all that Rhea has done, it is not entirely outside the realm of possibility. Oh, apologies. Just muttering to myself. Mutterings aside, I mean to say that you do not feel like a stranger to me. For whatever reason, I feel deeply connected to you.